Hi, welcome to the small shed. Excuse the voice, I've been with the grandchildren again and therefore this week I've got a stinking cold. I want to just quickly have a look at the Triton Belt and Spindle sander this week that I've now had for 8 months and let you know my thoughts on it. That's coming up in a minute. Now if we spool back to, I think it was August last year, I had the Triton spindle sander and I unboxed it at that point and had a bit of a play with it, but it wasn't really anything that at that time I could do a lot with regards to review, because there's no point in getting a machine out the box and just instantly saying, oh, this is wonderful, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You really need to be using it for a while to find all the quirks and problems and or benefits. So I've given it 8 months and I thought it was time now that I could give it probably a reasonable bash at what I thought about its design, its performance, its suitability for what I want it for, and so I'll just run through that with you. But we'll start with actually unboxing the brute back in August last year.
And that's the Triton Belt and Spindle sander. So we'll see what we've got in the box and perhaps give it a quick review of what's in there and how it performs. It's the combined spindle and belt. You can either put a spindle on there or a long belt to run on both. There's another spindle that goes in with that. So the machine itself, plastic body, reasonably weighty. And the cover piece for when you're just using a spindle sander. UK plug. Do the first thing I normally do since I had the capsule router, and that's make sure it works before I get in too deep, because there's not a lot of point in unwrapping something if it's not going to work. So we'll just plug that in. I suppose really I should read the manual first, but it's not the way we do it, is it? On off switch.
So here we are, 8 months on. You've seen me using it in several of the videos that I've done over the period, and I think the bottom line is that it's a brilliant bit of kit. I really do like it. There are, however, a number of things that I would question or want to change if I had a choice, but I don't. But on the whole, yes, it's doing a very good job. The first thing I will criticise is the 84-page manual with the operating and safety instructions. Now I know these things have to be done to be internationally acceptable, but out of those 84 pages, of relevance to me, there is a picture on the front, which is a line drawing. There are 2 not very brilliant photographs in black and white of the spindle sander and the belt in place with numbered items on them. There is another breakdown of all the various components with numbers nowhere does it actually give you a description of any of these items. It just gives you numbers, and it shows you the order in which they are put together. And there are 6 pretty crabby photographs which are principally intending to indicate how things fit, how you use the machine, how you change the brushes. I think anyway they're pretty awful photographs. There's a sectional drawing there that I really can't understand at all. It makes no sense to me whatsoever, coupled by the fact that there are no numbers on any of the items. And there is a breakdown of how the spindle part goes on. So that's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And then you get on to all of the specifications, sound and vibration information, and how to use it safely. The intended use. And there's a lot of very small print there that shows you how to do all the various parts, and that's your lot. That's it. The rest of it is all the same thing in 85 different languages. When you're using it with the spindle, there are a series of different sizes of spindles, each of which have a top washer that when you tighten that nut up it compresses and pushes the sleeve, or pushes the inside to the sleeve to make it work. There's a spanner around the back to undo it with. And you undo that spanner, that nut, and you take off the top washer for the relevant size that you're using. That, as you can see, stops or helps keep in place the sanding disc, and you pull the rubber off underneath, put it back in there and put the top nut away. The various different sized, like a 0 clearance insert that goes around the different sized sanding spindles. The smaller the spindle, the larger the surround. These are all kept, as I say, in little slots on the side, keep everything together. With the belt in place, similar thing. Place for the insert around the back. The dust collection is pretty good with the spindles. There's a dust collection port on the back that takes about a 35mm, I would guess, something like that, outlet, which I hadn't got an adapter for. Now, I can't blame Triton for it, but one of the things I found frustrating was that when I used the shop vac, pushed it into the opening where it was a loose fit, but it did fit. You'll notice if I push it in too far, it has a bit of an effect on the actual belt itself. So if you do push something a little bit too far, one of your adapters, it will actually stop that going up and down too far. But that's not something I can blame Triton for. That's just my own slack means of collecting dust. The only thing that I would criticise the dust collection on is when you come to use the belt part. It's very good on the spindles. It's pretty good on collecting from the front of the belt. But when you get around the back, you can see from where I've been using it, there's an awful lot of dust that does carry on round the back. And I have seen 2 or 3 people making effectively a dust collection hood that goes around the back and keeps both ends and the top. and then you put an extractor on that as well. That's something I'm going to have a go at as a future project for this, because it does throw dust round the back and up in the air a bit. And again, I think that's just, I don't think it's unreasonable that what they've done. I don't think they could have done a lot more. It's just that a full hood collection will be better, and as I say, it does give me a project to do for that. It's worked well. It's never given me any cause for concern about anything failing on it. I thought this top was plastic to start with. That was until I happened to put an angle grinder down on it by accident at the back, and you can see that it is actually it's an alloy top with like a black plastic coating on it, so it's a pretty substantial top. The 45-degree ability on the front is also useful, and it's something I have used on 2 or 3 occasions. It's quite a firm click to get it, but when you do it and tighten it up, it does work very well, and it gives you a very nice firm angle to work with. I also like the little stop they've got on there that just catches items and gives you a backstop, otherwise it's very easy for it to get pulled. I've tried it without that, and it is quite a handful without that. That stop is very useful for working with goods on it. The actual different size spindles, the only difference between this machine and the standalone spindle sander is that with the standalone spindle sander you get another sleeve, which is I think 75mm. This one is 50. They do a larger one. Now, I have also seen reference to the fact that that 70mm or 75mm or whatever it is size spindle is available from Triton as a spare part, and it will actually still fit on this machine. And the only thing that it gives a problem with is that it won't fit on this machine with that insert. That insert is designed up to a maximum of the 50mm belt with a small insert around the edge. So you can't do that with the 75mm. It won't fit. A second project will be to get a 75mm one, because it is useful to have a larger one, and then to make a new insert similar to that, only with the 75mm hole. I don't think you could actually adapt one of these. Or you might. That might be an option as well. If I could get hold of another one of these, it is only a matter of opening out that hole to 75mm. But if not, I'll make one out of Perspex or acrylic as a replacement to put in there. But that will give it a little bit more flexibility. Quite where I'll put it, because this thing is all beautifully designed to store everything that you have, but only exactly what's in the kit. There's no room for anything else. No room for spare sleeves. The only other criticism, if it is a criticism, is that it's all well and good having a nice storage underneath for all of the parts, but if you do happen to pick the machine up and move it around like I do, it is quite possible for them all to fall out all over the floor, and then you've got the puzzle of trying to find out where they all go, whether you've got them all. I've just lost a small washer about that big earlier on this morning, and it's under one of the benches somewhere. I can't find it at the moment. It will no doubt come to light. It's not the end of the world, and it's not really Triton's fault, but it's one thing to look pretty and have all this storage and easy to have things to hand, but it's not the most practical if you have to pick the machine up and move it across the workshop sometimes. Maybe some sort of raised plinth with a drawer might have been a better way of doing it, but they really are minor criticisms. So yeah, summing up, excellent bit of kit, one or two very minor niggles. The dust extraction probably is something I can fix and will be a future project. The larger spindle will be useful, and I don't know why they didn't supply that as well, seeing as they make it and it will fit. And that's about it really. It's a lovely bit of kit. Would I buy it again? Yes. Would I like a new manual for it that explained it a bit better? Yes. And again, I suspect if I went onto the website I may well find that they've got a YouTube video by now of showing you how to use it and how to use all the various attachments. But yes, on the whole, lovely bit of kit, and it will hopefully carry on. I'm just making a new bench for it to sit on, and when that's done it will have a slightly more permanent place in the shed. So there we are, 9 months on, 8 months on from when I first bought it. No great problems with the Triton spindle sander and belt sander, and I hope that was of interest. If it was, please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you again to all the new subscribers that have come on board recently. Look forward to doing some more videos for you, and I should see you all next week. Bye.